Still in the U.S., the Federal Reserve is facing stinging criticism for missing what observers say were clear signs that Silicon Valley Bank was at a high risk of collapsing into the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. Regulators rushed last week to seize the assets of one of Silicon Valley's top banks. The bank mainly served technology workers and venture capital-backed companies, including some of the industry's best-known brands. It also served the payroll for Red Panda Art Studio in Chevy Chase, Maryland, leaving in the limbo the paychecks for owner Stephanie Shevitt's staff. She's considered writing handwritten checks for half a dozen of workers before receiving an email from the payroll parent company that funds would be sound. Still, Shevitt said her company limits bank deposits to the federally insured $250,000 US cap to be safe.
But sometimes there are lots of things that worry you, but then you don't know exactly how it will personally impact you or your business. And then as soon as we heard about it, we actually got an email from our payroll company saying that like our payroll deposit wouldn't be processed because the payroll company runs their deposits through SVB, which was unexpected to me. So then it was like a matter of telling my employees, well, listen, the payroll won't go through as expected, which as a small business, like one of your main things that you want to do is pay your employees on time. So that was a little bit disappointing to hear. Luckily, it seems like that will be resolved, but then it was a question of like, oh, how do I handle payroll? Do I take the risk that maybe that money will be taken from my account, not transferred to the current account, current employee, and write some paper checks, right, as a like sort of just a protection for my employees, or do I wait and see and trust that these things will be handled in the proper way?
Meanwhile, one Kansas City, Missouri business has been able to avoid higher inflation rates by being more versatile in their spending. Even as the federal government reported on Tuesday that consumer price increases eased from January to February, it has had little impact on women's boutique Cheeky Bird, located in Crown Center. Owner Stephanie Herbig said that she has become more creative about how she spends her money, but also more selective on what products she brings in that best fits her customers' needs. One strategy Herbig uses is to provide more locally made products while avoiding bringing in international merchandise to limit extra costs. The boutique opened over a year and a half ago, and while inflation has been easing more recently, Herbig said she has not been negatively impacted in a meaningful way. She sees inflation as something that has to be dealt with as a small business in today's economy.
To me, inflation is just one of those things that just happens. It's like the price of gas. I can complain about it, but I still have to put it in my car. I just may not drive as many places. So again, I'm just trying to be more creative about where the money's going and how I'm using it, and just I have to be a little bit more thoughtful about what my consumers are wanting and where I'm spending.